Welcome back. I'm glad you could join me today. I want to talk about signs from spirit, and I want to show you a series of signs that recently occurred with me. In a few minutes, you'll see part of an episode from one of my other YouTube channels, The Reluctant Messenger Unleashed. This is a virtual book club with host Donna Rebido. Something happened when we were recording episode 9, which was at the end of January of this year, 2021, as we were wrapping up chapter 2 in The Reluctant Messenger, Good Vibrations. And what happened is the foundation of this video. And it gave me a chance to look at the larger picture involving energy, signs from spirit, and validations. A series of events occurred that, one by one, led to a sign that I interpret as being from the angelic realm, but you can be the judge of that. I'll start with this clip from episode 9 of The Reluctant Messenger Unleashed. And as that name suggests, I'll follow up after the clip with some behind-the-scenes information that will unveil this angelic sign. So, enjoy the clip.
I love your visions on page 33 and 34. I think those are really important. Can you tell us a little bit about the visions that you did?
Yeah,
You were
absolutely. As I went back and read this experience on page 33 and 34, I was back there again. This was one of the most profound, although I didn't realize it in real time, visions that I had had. It was very, very detailed. This is an experience about picking the flowers. I was able to see this through the lens of energy. I see this beautiful plant and I want to take the flower home with me. I mean, it's just gorgeous. So, can I please take this plant home with me? When I touched the plant, our energies connected. And what we had was a perfect vibrational match. When you have a best friend, you don't have to talk, you don't have to speak to communicate. Well, it was the same way with the plant because we were literally on the very same wavelength. I actually saw these golden sparkles streaming from my hand, and the plant responded by releasing these beautiful pink and green waves of energy. Now, I didn't get this, Donna, till I read this last night. Pink and green are the colors I see when I connect with the angelic realm. But I didn't know it then. There was a transmission of unspoken words that occurred when I sent my energy to this plant with the gold streaming, and they sent back the pink and the green. With this combination of my energy mingling with the energy of the plant, there created a separate energy system, a separate place where communication could take place. Donna had something interesting that happened to her screen, so please share that with us.
when I was listening to Candy talk about this, my heart just started swelling. I could see the angels and I could feel my energy of my heart going out. And it affected my screen. You can see the cosmos. That's just what they call a virtual background. Behind it is what they call a green screen. And so part of my virtual background went away and I saw green. So as she's talking about pink and green, and my heart that's rose quartz, it's going out. It flashed green. So for a second, I was in this pink and green
I absolutely love that because this is exactly what had happened. I had the pink and green from the energy of the flower coming in. And as of last night, I just had the recognition that the pink and green meant angelic. That's what I see when I see angels. What I realize now, because that trail of pink and green followed me home, this is so significant because this is the way guidance works. The pink and green represented angelic protection. Oh, now I'm going to cry. This is this is how we are when we leave source and we come to this earth. Our angels continue, our angels and guides, they are always with us and always protecting us. They are with us on this journey that we call life. They are there waiting for us to remember, hyphenated, to discover once again who we are, our true nature, which is divinity. We are all on a journey in life, and we've never lost that connection to our true self, to our higher self, to our angels and guides. It's still there, just like that plant that I took home with me.
I hope you enjoyed the clip. Now let's discuss what happened behind the scenes. The first unusual event was a ringing telephone. I've recorded over 150 videos and I've never had the phone interrupt a recording until that day. I am very organized. I always silence the notifications on my computer so I don't have any text chimes while I'm recording. I literally remove the phone from the recording studio. I take it to the other end of the apartment. That way, if I do get a call, I won't be able to hear it. So imagine my surprise when my phone started ringing in the middle of the recording. I had not changed the volume on the phone, yet it was so loud that I had to stop mid-sentence until it stopped ringing. While recording that episode, I was using my AirPods, which has a very tiny mic built into this device that I wear in my ears. What I'm using now is an external mic. And I could understand if the external mic would have picked up the sound, but I wasn't sure whether the smaller AirPods might. So I stopped and I asked Donna, I said, "Can you hear that phone?" And she said yes. While we waited for the loud ringing to stop, Donna asked me if I'd seen her screen turn green. I hadn't. So this led to a conversation about what had happened just before her virtual background disappeared, leaving the actual green screen in the background. So let's unleash this. As I said before, the phone call had never interrupted a recording before. That's significant. But when I went back to edit the video, the phone's ringer that was so loud that even Donna could hear it through my tiny AirPods, that sound was not on the recording. I asked Donna whether she would have mentioned the green screen had we not been interrupted moments later by the telephone. She said, no. It was only the break in the episode, as we waited for the phone to stop ringing, that gave her that opportunity to mention it to me. Aha, this was the reason for the phone call. It was a nudge from the angels for us to pause, giving us that opening, that space where Donna would share, which she did, what happened. Now, let's look at the messages surrounding the event of the screen turning green. The most significant is the pink and green energy and its correlation both to Donna's vision just before the screen turned green and the vision that I had written about in this chapter. As I spoke of the pink and green energy trailing from the flower that I had cut from this plant, Donna reported that her heart started swelling. She said she could see the angels. She felt that rose-colored pink from her heart combined with the green, which is the color of the heart chakra. And she felt like she was just bathed in this pink and green energy. And her experience was validated by what I think is an angelic message by that screen turning green. This is not uncommon. Often our angels and guides can manipulate electronics to get our attention. Flashing lights often on, significant songs that come on the radio at just the right time, seeing orbs in recordings, looking at the clock and noticing that it's 4:44 or 3:33, or even seeing those series of repeated numbers on car licenses, on books, addresses, anywhere really. As an example, let me share another aha moment. I grabbed a link from the original video of episode 9 to share on social media. I wanted the video to start at precisely that 13-minute mark where the audience could see when the screen turned green. The link I had has the words YouTube followed by 17 unique numbers and letters. And this link, guess what the last 4 were? Equals 777. I looked it up, and 777 is a quote sign for getting divine guidance. But it was more than just 777. It was an equal sign, then 777. I didn't even realize the significance of the equal sign until I was preparing for this video. And I thought, well, maybe there's always an equal sign at the end. So I grabbed another link from a different spot in the video, and of course, no equal sign. The message was a sign of divine guidance preceded by an equal sign while I'm doing a video on signs. I thought, you can't make this stuff up. Signs from the non-physical are often subtle, something that might go unnoticed and usually are unnoticed. But once you start dissecting them, the more obvious they become. Another sign was the deeper meaning that I realized about the vision, something I hadn't even understood when I wrote the book. As I prepared for that episode of The Reluctant Messenger Unleashed, I reread this chapter the night before the interview. And that's when I understood the importance of pink and green energy. I had the vision that you saw in the clip about the flower being cut from a plant. That was on June 16th, 2014. That was less than 10 months after I first began channeling. Much later, months, maybe years, did I learn that the energy of pink and green is the sign I receive when I'm in the presence of those in the angelic realm. But at the time of the vision, I didn't know that. So as I reread the chapter, I had this aha moment of realizing the angelic presence in the vision by way of the pink and green colors. Another aha moment arrived as I was recording. You saw me get teary-eyed when I finally understood, while we were recording, the larger picture. I'm going to read from page 34. A wispy trail of pink and green energy followed me. The energy connection to the plant had not been severed. Like a loving mother who allows her children to leave home to experience the world, some energy ties can never be broken. As Donna interviewed me, I realized the significance of that analogy. The vision was about flowers, and I recall that first message in August 2013 that stated, we are the flowers, the flowers of energy. And when we leave Source to live on this marvelous blue-green planet, those ties with Source, with our true home, those ties are never broken. We have angelic protection, protection from the Creator, protection from Source every day, step by step. We go through life not alone, but with the energy and the grace from the higher dimensional realms from which we come. So Keep your eyes open for messages, for signs. Ask for signs, and then notice how they will flow into your life. But what's important is when you receive them, take the time to send gratitude. So I hope you enjoyed this. I would love it if you would subscribe. Follow me on my other YouTube channels, which are listed in the link below. And until next time, remember, kindness matters. It's always important to be kind. Bye.